Whether versus if. These are two very common subordinating conjunctions that a lot of people use interchangeably but are unclear on the rules. So, to make sure that you're using both appropriately, let's take a look at the rules surrounding each. The words whether and if, as mentioned, are subordinating conjunctions. They are interchangeable in some instances. However, they also have distinct uses. So let us first take a look at the common uses where the two words are interchangeable and when we might use one versus the other. The common uses where you can use either of these two subordinating conjunctions are indirect questions. Indirect questions are also known as interrogative content clauses. Don't let these complicated phrases confuse you. This simply means that there are sentences with subordinate elements that require a response, but there is no question mark. Example, let me know if you need to borrow the car. In this context, you'll see there is no question mark, but you still need a response, and there's an alternative as to whether or not the person you're speaking to needs the car. When you're looking for a binary answer where there's a yes or a no, whether and if can be used interchangeably. Whether is used in more formal contexts, though, particularly in academic writing. If is used in casual contexts. Example, for a casual context, you're sitting down for breakfast with the family, you might say, let me know if you'd like another bowl of Apple Jacks. Whether or not they need one, yes or no. And it's a casual context we use if. However, maybe you're writing a study about Apple Jacks. So you might instead say the study examined whether Apple Jacks improved academic performance. When you pose an indirect question, consider using if for casual contexts and whether for formal contexts. There are also instances where we use the subordinated conjunction if exclusively, and that is linear conditions. The conjunction if is used for linear conditions, but let's understand and break down what exactly a linear condition is. This means that one condition leads to a specific outcome. Though there might be an implied alternative, it is not mentioned because we're just focused on the one condition and what it's going to lead to. Example, if you eat Raisin Bran, you will be more regular. So here we have the condition, which is you eating Raisin Bran, and the outcome of that condition is being more regular. Alternately, if you eat Captain Crunch, you will tear up the roof of your mouth. And that's from our friend Chocula 2025, who's giving us a warning. Again, we have a specific condition and that will lead to a specific outcome. Captain Crunch might counter if you eat Count Chocula, you'll get cavities. And that's from Crunch 2026. Again, in this context, we have a specific condition and that leads to a specific outcome. Therefore, when describing a condition that leads to a specific outcome, be sure to use the subordinating conjunction if exclusively. Whether, not if, is used when there is a stated or implied alternative. In this context, the outcome or stipulation is often the same, regardless of which option you choose. Example, whether for breakfast or a snack, frosted flakes are great. Now, again, in this context, we have an alternative. Whether you're eating them for breakfast or a snack, the frosted flakes are great. So we have the two alternatives, and regardless, it leads to the same outcome. Alternately, you might say whether you eat corn pops or another sugary cereal, you'd better brush your teeth. So again, we have the two options, either corn pops or another sugar cereal. Either way, you better brush your teeth because you don't want the cavities after. Let's do a quick summary. If and whether can be used for indirect questions, and in that context, they are interchangeable. However, if is often seen as casual. Alternately, whether is seen as more formal. However, when referring to linear conditions, and again, that's a specific outcome tied to a specific condition, we will use the conjunction if exclusively. When referring to stated or implied alternatives, we're going to use whether exclusively. Hopefully that clears up when you should use whether and when you should use if. If you do have any questions, leave them below and we'll do our very best to answer you as soon as possible. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.